Hey everyone, Steve Pacarduni here, your LD4 State Senate candidate, with this week's edition of Sunday with Steve video. Coming at you this week from campaign headquarters, out all day campaigning, all day yesterday too, knocking on doors, talking to people. So really not enough time to get home and sit out in the backyard because it'll be dark by the time I get home, actually, where I normally do the videos. But it's good to be here. And actually, I have a pretty cool document right behind me. Big one, too, Bill of Rights. And I actually have something else really cool in front of me, U.S. Constitution. So these two documents I learned a whole bunch about while running for office and trying to understand how government works and how it can be for the people, by the people, as we're always taught in school. We always, taught those catchphrases and we the people and, things like that we just happen to know about. So if you remember, the governor we have now, Governor Murphy, when pressed about on a national TV program, when pressed about if he had the authority for the lockdowns, the closing of businesses, the closing of churches, and basically telling us to stay in our homes or else, he was pressed and said, what gives him the authority to trample on this document behind me and this document in front of me? And the governor of 9 million people said, the Bill of Rights is above his pay grade. Who says that? I'll guarantee you right now, you send me to Trenton, that document and this document will definitely not be above my pay grade. I'm studying these documents. I'm studying the New Jersey Constitution, which mimics the U.S. Constitution pretty closely. The power of government is given to the people, us, not the politicians, not the governor, not the political machines, not the politically connected. It's not for them. It's for us. The power is given to us. If we don't like what's happening in government, our job as citizens or our right as a citizen is to vote these people out. You have the opportunity to do that this November. A unique opportunity here happens every 10 years in New Jersey where the entire government, state government, is up for re-election. I'm running for a 2-year term for state senate. Normally it's a 4-year term, but every 10 years it's a 2-year term. The assembly members are always 2-year terms, and our governor is always a 4-year term. So we're asking you is to vote us in. Vote us in, give us a shot. Vote me in as your state senator. Vote me in so I represent you correctly, so that this document means something, and this document means something. The government can't trample on your rights, can't close your business, can't close your schools, can't close your churches, and tell you how to live your life. I understand there was a pandemic. I understand early on we didn't exactly know what was happening. I understand 2 weeks to slow the spread so we didn't overwhelm our hospitals, which, thank God, never, ever happened. Yep, were they full? Yep. Were they busy? Did we overrun them? No, we didn't. That didn't happen. So when that didn't happen, the governor should have released his powers, and he didn't do that. He had an opportunity to trample all over this document behind us and tell us it's above his pay grade. That's completely unacceptable. He wasn't kept in check by our incumbents in the State House. They let him do whatever he wanted. They actually closed the State House. Nobody was working in Trenton. Our representatives weren't there. Our representatives' offices were closed. You couldn't do something as simple in the state as get a car registered. Couldn't get a title for a vehicle. It was a disaster. We can't have that happen again. We have to change the government. The easiest and best way to do that is vote the incumbents out. I'll guarantee you that I will not trample on this document behind me. That will guide me and lead me and everything that I'm doing, everything that you send me to Trenton to do. The New Jersey Constitution is extremely clear too, that the power is with the people. Government's job is to provide for the prosperity, the general welfare, and the security of the residents of New Jersey. That's my job. That's what I'll do for you. Also, one thing that I will do for you, and we talked about this before, is that I want to have town hall style events, listening sessions, whatever you want to call it, open house, open office. As a state senator, you receive you get 2 offices, one in Camden County and one in Gloucester County for LD4. Once a month, those offices will be open in the evening for a couple of hours. I will be there. You can come in and talk to me. And actually, I'd rather just listen to you. It's important that the residents of LD4 listen to. What are your concerns for the state? What do you want me to take to Trenton? I also will let you know on the bills that I'm voting on. People always say, well, how did our taxes get so high? Well, our representatives voted to raise our taxes. Now, we're not fools. We understand that things cost money, and sometimes you do have to raise taxes to pay for certain things that are important to us, that affect our everyday lives and keep us safe and these things. But to raise our taxes year after year after year after year for pie in the sky, social programs or climate change that Governor Murphy, that's all he talked about during the debate, all the problems New Jersey is facing, and climate change is the biggest thing that's on his mind. That's a whole nother story. Not enough time to go through that. I understand things cost more money. But we don't have to raise taxes every single time to pay for these things. We don't have to borrow money. That's the other problem, too. The governor borrowed $4 billion and then touts that he funded the pension. He borrowed the money to fund the pensions, and we had to pay the taxes on that. The pension, the amazing thing is, too, all these, the people that receive these pensions deserve those pensions. But unfortunately, they get their pension. They can't afford to stay here in the state because we have to raise the taxes to pay the debt for the pension. Makes no sense. It really doesn't make no sense. Same thing with the union contracts. Same thing with the teachers' contracts. They pay, the teachers make an okay salary. They're not making $1 million a year being a teacher. Nobody goes into that thinking they're going to make that kind of money. But you make a decent salary, an average salary. But to get this contract, they have to raise the taxes, so you wind up all the money you just earned in in this new contract. You're going to go back to pay the state in the taxes so you could afford to live here. It's insanity. It really does not make sense to me. The vicious cycle must stop. We have to cut spending and increase revenue. It's pretty simple to do. It's a simple formula. Increase the revenue. Attract businesses to open in New Jersey. Very, very easy to do. Cut the corporate tax rate. Make us in line with our neighboring states. Give people incentives to open businesses in New Jersey, not stumbling blocks. The more revenue we take in, the less that we have to raise taxes on the people. It's so simple. I know you're saying, Steve, it can't be that simple. It is. It really is that simple. It's just like yourself. You go to work every day. You make money to pay for your housing and your car and education, everything like that. Same thing for the state. How does the state make money? It makes it two ways. Well, it makes this basically through the revenue comes from taxes. But the more business taxes, the more businesses that are there, we increase the revenue. The more employees we have, we increase the revenue coming into the state. So instead of raising the taxes on the people that are here already, increase the revenue. Get more people to work in New Jersey. Get more people to move into New Jersey. Our wealth is moving away. I've gone over all these things for all the Sunday with Steve videos, and please rewatch them again. It's important to me that our rights are kept. It's important to me that the Constitution is upheld, and the governor has failed on every single one of those levels. And unfortunately, the State House has failed too. They didn't keep the governor in check. They allowed him to shut our businesses. They allowed these executive orders to go on for days and months and weeks and it's going on a year now, or even over a year. We're still facing the same problems that we had with COVID when it first got here. It's a virus that's going to spread. Of course, we know a lot more about it. We know how to manage certain things, and we know who it affects the most vulnerable is our elderlies. We need to protect them as always, of course. So basically what I need, again, is your vote. Talk it up. Get out there. Tell people. Been listening to this crazy guy, Steve, but he's actually starting to make some sense now that we really need to fix New Jersey. New Jersey is broken. We can fix it, though. We have a plan. Jack Ciattarelli has a plan. We have a plan to make New Jersey an affordable state again. Not going to happen overnight. You got to get us in there. Let us implement some of the plans and programs that Jack Ciattarelli has. Let us show you that we can lead and we can govern. I'm running for a 2-year term for state senate. Happens every 10 years. Normally it's a 4-year term, but every 10 years, the state senate position is only a 2-year term. The assembly is only a 2-year term also. Governor is always 4-year terms. So what I'm saying is give us a shot. Give me a shot at state senate, Denise Gonzalez for assembly, And if we stink, you can vote us out in 2 years. If I stink, if I do a horrible job, I'll vote myself out. How's that sound? That's how serious I am about representing you correctly. And I do mean it. Give us a shot. Things have not gone well. New Jersey has gotten deeper and deeper into debt. It costs more and more money to live here, and it's unaffordable. It's one thing for things to go up a little bit. We understand that. But it's completely unaffordable. We are the highest tax state in the nation. Our services are not very good. Government services are not very good. Our roads aren't that great. We have a whole bunch of problems. So let's address those. We're willing to tackle it. The Republicans are willing to tackle that. Everyone that's running on this ticket this year, up and down the state, all our state Senate candidates, all our assembly candidates are willing to tackle the tough problems along with Jack Ciattarelli. He understands we have problems. I understand we have problems. We're here to fix those problems. So please, need your vote. I need you to tell people to vote for us. Ran a little long as I always do, but we'll talk at you next week for another week down with Sunday with Steve. Talk to you later. Thanks, guys.